We've got a What's in Your Kit submission this week from Michael Morrongiello in Philadelphia. Thanks so much to him for sending it in and being a part of the channel. There's a link in the description if you'd like to get involved too. As always, thank you to patrons and channel members and everyone who visits the DcSoundOp Amazon page, all linked below.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael Morrongiello. I'm an audio tech with a corporate focus who's been working out of Philadelphia for the last 4 or 5 years. Longtime fan and really excited to share what's in my kit. You can follow me on Instagram at MikeMeUpAudio. My real phone number is underneath there just in case it gets lost, but let's keep that secret for now. This is my Pelican 1510 that I've owned pretty much since I've began, and I put some nice colorful latches and some stickers on it. It's changed a lot over my career, but let's see where it's at today. Okay, so in the bottom here, we have my Sennheiser headphones. I love these things because they pack flat, very convenient for the kit. We have got a relatively new iPad in a carrying case that I outfitted with a little bit of string to make a nice little drawstring for myself. I always get compliments on this. We have a pile tester. Takes NL8, NL4, XLR, RJ45. Really does everything you could want. The battery compartment's getting loose, but hasn't failed on me yet. I've got an extra 9-volt for it anyway. Really helpful to have this on site just to double check yourself, make sure you're not the problem. Down here, we also have a little bit of a carrying bag that I'll use if I'm carrying labs or a little notepad or any extra tape or anything around. Currently, nothing really lives in it, but always nice to have in your back pocket. In the middle compartment here, we have a switched 58 style microphone. I don't really know what the PGA means, but for a voice of God or producer, always nice to have a switched mic for them because sometimes the stomp boxes can be a little bit noisy. We have got a stand for the iPad that isn't so useful anymore because the stand will hold itself up, but always nice for a second surface. Lake controller sometimes ships in a little surface. We have got a USB powered flashlight here that I like to use for a desk light. Pretty convenient having it attached to my computer. My angle measure here isn't the most common tool. I don't know if anybody else really uses it, but really useful for just roughing out either in the space or on diagrams coverage, you know. You can pretty much eyeball it, but sometimes it's nice to just double check yourself, see what's really necessary in the front row. I have got this Evo 4 interface, useful for running outputs if I don't have Dante sound card available. The loopback mixer is a nice touch. Hasn't failed me, just not the most robust construction. Can't say I recommend wholeheartedly, but for the shape, for the size, I mean, fits perfectly, and really that's half the battle at some point. Next to the Evo interface, I've got a bag full of adapters here. I've got 1/8 to RCA. I've got 1/8 to quarters. I've got a lot of 1/8-inch adapters in here, 1/8 to dual TS. And then finally, just another 1/8 to quarter there. I have got a couple of different XLR-Ys. Always come in handy. Of course, a bunch of XLR barrels and 1/4-inch barrels just to get me out of any jam I could possibly get in. A lot of these are provided, but it's always nice to have. I have got a 4-pin female to female. That's really handy if cameras don't come with working headsets or we run into a snag and I want to use RTS headsets instead. Happens more often than it should, but it certainly happens. And micro dot to XLR, just in case I want to use something else with a lav pack. Hasn't happened in a long time, but it's always nice to have the option. And finally, since phones don't have headphone jacks anymore, we've got a USB-C to 1/8. So, always nice to have. Over here in the side, I've got my pouch full of my different show files and some different formatted drives for content and test signal. We've got a circuit tester, just to double check yourself, make sure you're not the problem if anything goes wrong. This is always nice to break out when necessary. Just a little incomplete first aid kit with Neosporin, Tylenol, a bunch of Band-Aids. If you see someone bandaging themselves with E-tape, let them do their thing or see if they want a real bandage. Over here, I've got an old Airport Express with a switch that just stays connected to there. Always nice to have just in case they're not provided. And here is power and Cat 5 for all these guys. I taped this up because I've previously blown out this zipper here, and it's definitely holding up a lot better with less tension from the cables going side to side. I have got a headlamp because nothing is more panic-inducing than working in waning light and trying to get everything set without being able to see. Save your phone battery, just have that. And then my green laser disto, you probably can't see the screen on the phone, but has really become useful recently because it's got an inclinometer built into it. So in the instances that they don't ship an inclinometer for an array, it's always great to be able to confirm your angles as you go. I have got a multi-tool. This is the most recent one that hasn't been confiscated going through airport security. And on that same topic, coming right down the middle here, you might not be able to see, I've got straps built in here that are supposed to be able to hold a BNC driver, but the one I had was more than 7 inches long. So if you know of a flight-friendly BNC driver that isn't outrageously expensive, please let me know. It's always nice to not have to go digging in the backs of racks. Always easier just to use the driver. So I've got a USB-C charger here, and the perfect way to win friends and influence people. Just every charger anyone could possibly want. I mean, I haven't seen that in a long time, but we've got lots of USB-C to C, regular USB to C, micro USB, lightning. Just keep everybody happy, and you can plug them all in to a USB brick like this. That's a great way to score easy points if someone's phone is dying. Up here, I have got power adapters for the USB brick and for my switch. In this next compartment up here, I have got, for the edge of a table, great way to put on a mic clip for the aforementioned voice of God or anything. There are some tables that are just have too much of a lip or are too large to fit this on, and obviously people make better tools for the job, but this one has been useful for me, and it is the right size, just fits right up there, so definitely keeping this in the kit for now. And when we don't have a headphone holder, also nice to have this just to clamp onto the edge of your console or your table. Finally, up here, I've just got a run-of-the-mill DBX RTA mic. And here's my A2 special sauce. Got a little kit here with some surgical tape. Won't irritate skin, comes off easily of all clothing. You can have people rest assured you're not going to ruin their jacket taping up all you want, or you can put this on someone's neck or behind their ear without irritating them or ripping out any hair. And trust me, I am sensitive to ripped out hair. Happens anytime I go anywhere. This, I forget whether this is branded as the Lav Bullet or something else, but just a little weight that you can feed a lav through, and when you send it fishing down someone's shirt, they can find it more easily. You don't have that awkward pushing and pulling of trying to find the end of the lav. Highly recommend this thing. And these are branded as glasses clips or sunglass clips, but these little magnets can give you purchase for a lav on any piece of clothing that has nothing on it, really get you out of a jam. It is just important to make sure you're not working with anyone who would have a problem with magnets or a pacemaker or anything like that. But so far, so good. Just always ask. Finally, up in the corner, my last little bits, I have got a TSA lock. I always prefer to keep this kit on me and just go through security and have them search it. Worst thing that happens is sometimes you lose a knife, sometimes you lose the BNC driver, but the TSA lock is necessary. I really like physical run of show, and I like to color code them by mics, by walk-ups, by stingers, really like to have that visually in front of me. Couple of pens, maybe not enough. I got to add some more. A silver Sharpie is worth its weight in gold. When you give it to people, just hold on to the cap and they will give it back to you, because nobody wants to put an open marker in their pocket and forget about it. And finally, a little stylus for my iPad. The final piece of my What's in Your Kit actually lives in my backpack, but comes to me on every single gig. Got a carrying case for an M1 MacBook. Matching sticker with the case. Mission status sick. And in this little extra pouch, we've got a USB-C to A dock with SD card and HDMI. And then we've got a USB-C to RJ45. There we go for network. And my pride and joy. I use a key mapper on my computer to use some functions for QLab. So this is my little homemade stream deck. All my shows are, pretty much programmed in a row. I don't really have to punt very much, so I have no problem just navigating through QLab instead of actually hitting buttons for cues. So we've got that and a USB extender, and I'm all set to go. Thanks for hearing me out, and thank you to this channel for everything you do. Till next time.
Thanks again to Michael for sending in this video. No matter how many of these we do, there's always something new we haven't seen before, and I think seeing how it all goes together and hearing firsthand from each person how they use the things in the kit is so much more valuable than just reading a pack-out list on a forum. I really like the iPad lanyard that Michael made. I'm a big fan of not having to set your iPad down somewhere just to use both hands when you're on a job. So well done to him for homebrewing a solution to that. I used to have an OtterBox one that had a lanyard. It was like a case with a lanyard, and that thing was really expensive. I also really like the digital angle finder he's carrying. Those and cheap inclinometers are super inexpensive little tools that can come in very handy for quick reference on a job. And it's cool to see him carrying the angle finder. So I hope this video series is helpful. We're over 20 episodes in now, and everyone watching it is welcome to submit a video in the future. No matter what type of production work you do. We've had audio, video, lighting, and backline technicians in the past, and I'd love to see what you do for a living and the tools you use to get your job done. Thanks again to Michael Morrongiello for this video, and hello to everyone working hard in Philadelphia. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching.